Welcome to A Pair of Bookends, the book club you can carry anywhere. I'm your host, Hannah MacDonald, and I'll be bookending the conversation with some of the most exciting voices from the bookish world.
Welcome to another episode in our debut Spotlight series where we shine a light on the freshest authors and their work. Today, that spotlight is on Jessica Elisabeth and her debut novel, Bloodline of the Coven. For fans of cosy, witchy romance, this one is for you. And I will be popping a link in the show notes, so please go ahead and order yourselves a copy. Jessica Elisabeth is a British author. She grew up in Leicestershire and went on to study drama, performance and theatre at university, where she met me. Over the years, writing has always been something Jessica has returned to, whether it be blogs or short form writing, but now she is finally launching her debut novel into the world. Throughout the last few months, Jessica has built a following over on Instagram, sharing the realities of writing and the road to publication and giving support and encouragement to her fellow writing community. And you should all go and follow her. And here to discuss her debut novel, Bloodline of the Coven, welcome Jess to A Pair of Bookends.
That was so cute. I love it.
Your first intro, Queen.
I'm like waving. Oh no,
The Queen has arrived.
She is here. The Queen has arrived. Beyonce in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Hello.
I should say for the listeners that me and Jess absolutely bonded over Beyonce when we met way back when. So
many kitchen parties at university were spent dancing to Beyonce.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. Now I'm so excited to be having you on the pod and talking to you about your book. But before we dive into your book, I do like to start by asking what you're currently reading. So could you tell us?
Of course. So I've just jumped on the bandwagon of Fourth Wing.
Oh, okay.
So I am an ACOTAR fan.
Okay.
As I'm sure a lot of you are. And I am on the fourth book of ACOTAR. But I don't know if you guys get this, but sometimes I need like a hot break between some of the books because I'm like overwhelmed. And so I thought, why not go to a different fantasy and let's go on the dragon sort of hunt. So we've done that. I really like it so far. It's really cute. I'm loving our female main character. She's like, seems like she's like a good girl. I mean, I'm only in the first couple of chapters, so we're gonna see how that goes. But yeah, that's what I'm.
So much shit hits the fan.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, we love that. We love that.
We love that. It keeps you going. It does. I read Fourth Wing and then never went on to read the rest of the series, and it wasn't because I didn't enjoy it. It was just because my reading piles have just grown elsewhere. So I keep meaning to return to it, but it's one of them you've really got to invest in a series, and that's why I've not read ACOTAR because.
Yeah.
It's an investment.
It is. My friend's reading it at the moment, and I'm sure everyone that has read ACOTAR, when someone picks it up and they start talking about it, you're like, yeah, okay. Tell me what you feel like in the second book.
Yes, yeah. Everyone I've spoken to that has read it has said that like the second book is well, they've all said mixed things, so I don't know. Like the second book seems to be something goes on in the second book, and it's made me very curious. Yeah.
That is my favorite.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. So I will try it at some point, and I'm gonna get massive FOMO when the sixth one comes out.
Yes. So I'm going to a Waterstones masquerade board for the celebration of the sixth one coming out. So I'm so excited for that.
Okay, icon masquerade ball. That's so exciting. They know what they're doing with all this promo,
don't they?
Yeah.
Well done, Waterstones.
Well done. Shall we get into your book, Jess?
Of course. Let's do that.
Would you like to tell the listeners what Bloodline of the Coven is about? Give us a little summary.
So I get total imposter syndrome when I do this and talk about my own work because I'm like, don't read it, stop.
No, read it.
Read it. So Bloodline of the Coven is about a girl called Harriet, Harry for short. She lives in London with her fiance, Greg. Things kind of hit the fan and Greg betrays her in the worst worst way I think is possible that a man can betray a woman.
Yeah.
And she leaves him, finds out that she's got long lost family in a cozy village in Brindlewood, which I actually based on villages around Nottinghamshire as well. So it's kind of like a local vibe. So there, I've been to villages that have inspired me for Brindlewood. Biggest inspiration for that was Sherwood Forest, which is around me where I live. And then, yeah, she finds out she's from a long line of witches. She meets our male main character, Sam, who is just an absolute delight. He is all the green flags that you'd ever want in a book boyfriend, but would also like burn the world down for you as well. And we love that in a book boyfriend. And it's all about her sort of discovering herself and realizing that like less is more. You don't need money, you don't need all these fancy things. Like love and support and women around you. That is my biggest thing is women empowerment and women supporting women. I am a girls through and through. My whole like life is to be that girl that you meet drunk in a club bathroom, but like all the time. Like I want to hype you up all the time. Like
That
that
is
is
the
my whole
perfect way to
vibe.
describe your
Yeah,
personality.
yeah, totally. Like I will hype you up for everything. Like, oh, you burnt his house down. Good. What did he do? What did he do for you to do that? Like that is my whole thing. So yeah, it's just a really lovely story. I really enjoyed writing it. I'm currently writing the second, which is Heart of the Coven, which follows on from the story because I think there's a lot of bits that we can carry on telling a story about Harry and Sam and sort of the magic within the Coven of Brindlewood. So yeah, as
That is
well, there you
so
go.
exciting that
I
we've got a second
know.
one on the way.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Uh-huh.
my God.
I know.
Okay, so what in terms of the writing process has that been like? Like how long has it taken?
Oh my gosh. So I think like most women of sort of like our age, we probably all grew up reading in our bedrooms as teenagers, like Jacqueline Wilson, things like Twilight. I die
Trauma.
on the Twilight Hill, like you know that, like that is my forever. I love it. And then we kind of just stopped. I feel like we kind of all just like stopped reading. And I don't know if it wasn't cool. So we were like, no, I'm cool. I'm not gonna read. Like I'm not a nerd. What? And then we all come back and we're actually like, yeah, we're all like horrendous nerds and it's the
Yeah.
best thing ever and I love it. So I started reading again and I was just obsessed. Like I think I read like something like 100 books in a year at one point because I
Oh
was just
my
like
God.
obsessed with reading again. Like it's all I did. And then I was like, do you know what? I'd love to write a story. So I actually started writing a cowboy romance and honest to God, it was awful. Like, you know, when you look back and you're like, what was I doing? But girl was trying. She tried,
Yeah.
but it inspired me to carry on. And then I just love autumn. Like I'm a big Halloween fan. Like a lot of my tattoos are Halloween inspired. I love that vibe. And I was like, I love witches. I really want to write something that empowers women. And, you know, if we think about the history of witchcraft and how awful that was for women, like I wanted to make like a beautiful story that kind of shows that magic is in all of us as women. And in my dedication, I kind of want to point that out to all my readers that you are the magic. It's there. Like, girl, you've got this. So yeah, it took me about 2 years to write Bloodline of the Coven because I also work. I have two small
Yeah.
children. Everything
Also,
gets
two
in the way.
years when you've got all of those things alongside is actually a really quick
Yeah, I
turnaround, I'm
think
going to
I'm
be
a
honest.
vampire and I just don't sleep. Like I just maybe sit and just on my phone while everyone's asleep doing little like ideas. But yeah, and it just kind of spiraled out of there. And I've always been quite determined because I remember when I was writing my partner, Kieran, he was like, you know, it's just good to do. Like you might not get it published. And I was like, I will. I will, King. This is happening.
You're going to do
So,
it.
and I did it. So yeah, I love it really. And I'm writing the second one and I'm also rewriting the cowboy romance that I started all those years ago
Amazing.
to kind of see if anything comes of it, just for like a bit of fun, because like with reading, sometimes I get a bit bored of the
Yeah.
same thing. So now I'm sort of tandem writing, which is a bit mental to do anyway, but it kind of gives you a break from different genres.
Yeah.
So that's me. That's the vibe.
I mean, there's a real hunger for cowboy romances at the
There
moment.
is.
So
I mean, I get it. I get it. It's the hat, I think. It's the hat. Perhaps.
You're so funny. Let's get into the witches
Okay.
aspect because that sounds like it's your bag. Where
Yeah.
did your interest with witches kind of start?
I think I've always had that like interest with witches. Like I'm thinking back to like childhood Halloween where you'd wear a bin bag and you'd have the plastic fingernails, like plastic like nails and the witch's nose and stuff. And just like the idea of sort of like turning people into frogs or like making potions, it's just such a fun little idea. Also, Harry Potter, loved Harry Potter. You know, the books are incredible. And I think that was a massive thing of a lot of people's childhoods
Yeah.
is, you know, the magic aspect of life and romanticizing life. And I think that's really important. So yeah, I've always been a bit of a witchy gal.
I think we should start with your start. We've already started.
Very
I think we
good.
should get into the opening because
Hmm.
we meet your main character Harriet when she's in a very difficult place. Tell
Yes.
us about where she's at this point in her life.
So with Harriet, she's having all these feelings. She's having a lot of strange dreams. Like things are just not fitting right. So she used to be quite a socialite, you know, going out, had lots of money, had anything that she wanted. And she just found it was empty. Like those things actually aren't bringing her joy.
Mhm.
And maybe there is more to life than materialistic things, you know, that we see every day. I also think that her, with her mental health, the way that her fiance treats her with her mental health kind of shows that there's still stigma around it, that it shouldn't be spoken about, that, you know, you should keep quiet. It's shameful to have mental health when actually, no, we should be talking about it all the time
Yeah.
because everybody suffers with mental health. So that was kind of the way I was going with that, is to sort of still show that there is stigma. And
Mhm.
obviously, when she moves to Brindlewood, her family are so much more supportive and understanding. And she does all those things to kind of help with her mental health. So, like walking and reading and just spending time with like good people. And I think that's so important, is surrounding yourself with good people.
Absolutely. Is
Yeah.
that a journey? You don't have to answer this, by the way, but is that a journey that you've been on yourself in terms of mental health?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a bit like a roller coaster queen. Like,
I feel you.
you
I feel
know,
you.
some years I'm all good. Some years I'm like, no, tap out. I'm done. Like, this is it. But yeah, I think so many things happen with our lives that it can affect your mental health in different ways. And it's trying to find things that bring you joy.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of women that read, men as well, we do it to kind of escape real life. And sometimes that can be really therapeutic to kind of just ground yourself into a book. You're somewhere else. It takes you away for a little bit till you can kind of reset yourself. But yeah, no, totally. You know, I've struggled with depression, anxiety, especially after having children. That's
Yeah.
something that's really difficult is, you know, you're kind of an island and you've got these tiny little humans that rely on you. But yeah, I think that everyone suffers with mental health and it should be spoken about more.
Absolutely. No, I 100% agree. I also don't think it necessarily helps with Harriet that her parents sort of hold her at arm's length, don't they? It's a very
Yeah.
confusing relationship. How do you think that affects Harriet?
I mean, I think that if you don't have those supportive parents, you can kind of feel that way anyway.
Mhm.
I think as well, the way they kind of want her to be at a standard. So they want
Yeah.
her to have the good job. They want her to have the fancy fiance. It's almost like to show her off as like kind of an object rather than a human
Yeah.
being, and accepting Harriet for who she is. There's nothing wrong with Harriet. Harriet's brilliant. Like she's lovely, but her parents seem to think that she needs to be a certain way for them to accept her and for
Yeah.
them to be accepted in society, which I think does happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there's a point in the book where she talks about her partner Greg seeing her as a possession.
Yeah.
And it's such a horrible thing for your partner to view you in that way. And I really loved, I wasn't expecting it at all when I went into this book for it to really be exploring the world of the wealthy and the elite. I don't know why I wasn't expecting that
Yeah,
from you,
no,
Jess. Sorry.
no.
But I was like, we aren't
Why
from
would
this
you write
world,
about
Jess.
that
What's
girl?
going on? But I do think that that sort of world is so ripe for drama, and
Yes.
there's a hunger for it with like shows like Succession and stuff like that. But what drew you to that world of the wealthy and the elite?
Probably because of what everything is going on in the world at the moment. Being
What are you
like,
talking about, babe?
what? You know, I am a big believer that everyone should be treated as equal. You know,
Yeah.
we're all in this together. Like the thing called life, we are all in this together.
Hmm.
And we have people that have got silver spoons spoons in their mouths that have probably never experienced needing to go to a food bank or experience, not being able to put your heating on. And I think there is such a massive divide. So I think it was important to kind of showcase a little bit of that. I didn't want to go fully into kind of politics and stuff. I still want it
Yeah.
to be like a nice romantic story. But yeah, I think it's important that we kind of showcase that there is a huge divide at the moment, especially in Britain. A lot of people don't realize that it is that way, but it is.
Yeah,
So,
it's
mm.
horrific. The
And-
divide is
mm.
is horrendous. I do like that although, this is a nice escapist read from like the horrors of the politics of the world, you
Yeah.
do still, sort of point us towards like the important
Yeah.
things in life, like you said, like with mental health and like with,
Yeah.
the sort of wealth gap. I think those are sort of important things to nod to, but it
Yeah.
doesn't sort of take away from this sort of escapist story. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And that's what I wanted from it. I didn't want to go too in depth with it, but I do think it's important to kind of showcase some of those sort of issues that we're going with. The same with like Greg and his toxic masculinity. That's
Yeah.
something that's really rife at the moment.
Yes.
And I wanted to kind of put that a little bit in there, but like you said, not take away from just it being a nice story for people to read.
Yeah, totally. And Greg is a piece of work. He,
Honestly, oh
let's talk about him. What was it like writing a character like that?
my
Because I
gosh,
wanted to fight
angry.
him, Jess.
Me too. Me too. I was like, hold my hoops because I'm coming for you, Greg. Like, I was angry. I was angry at him. But I guarantee every single woman on the planet has met a Greg.
Oh,
And I wanted that to be like prevalent that, we're all in this together, queens. Like, we've all met a Greg. We all know
we've
you,
all met a Greg.
honestly.
He's a piece of shit.
He literally is just an
He
absolute
really is. There's a
horrible.
moment where he says something like, it's our birthright. And I'm like, you
I know.
are
Sorry.
something else. What's the word I'm looking for where it's like he's so entitled?
Yeah, he is. He is entitled.
It's grim and just the way he behaves with her is just, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to fight him, I'm gonna be
Totally.
honest.
No, I get it. I get it. And I am sad that she didn't turn him into a frog. That is one thing that I am sad about.
There's still book two, Jess.
There is. There is.
It could happen.
But
I think we should get into Brindlewood. I know you sort of
okay.
touched on it a little bit
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
start, but I'd love to hear more about some of the inspirations behind that place and about what it was like, building that setting.
I just wanted something really cozy and I wanted the reader to feel like they're home. Like that's what I wanted you to feel like is you go to Brindlewood and that is your home, that you're safe, that you're warm, that you're loved, that there was like this really sense of community, which I think is so important.
Mhm.
And I think the sense of community doesn't actually have to be within a village setting. We find community in, city centres. We find community in places that aren't like this cozy, wonderful dreamland. And I think that is such an important thing for human connection is having that like community aspect.
Mhm.
But as for the inspirations, where I live in Nottinghamshire. There are lots of little villages around that have like little rivers and like little like I did bridges into the houses where the river runs. There's like lots of that. Sherwood Forest and Sherwood Pines. I'm often there at a weekend. I love it there. Just being around nature and trees and all sorts. It's just like I just love it. I think it's really good as well for you. I've actually recently been going to like a drumming circle with my friend,
Oh my
and it's in the
gosh.
woods. And honestly, like they are just, I haven't been able to go for the last couple of months because of just life is busy.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to pick it back up soon. But they're just all really lovely women and men that like drum. And the other week, I literally screamed in the woods. And I cannot tell you how therapeutic it is just go in the woods and just scream. So anyone that is like going for a walk in the woods, just go and scream. Have a scream. Honestly, it makes you feel 10 times better.
I feel like I need that right now.
Honestly, so good. So good. So yeah, totally recommend. But yeah, I just wanted it to feel like home. That's what I wanted. I wanted the reader to like go into the cottage where Granny and Aradia live and just feel completely like at home there with them. And
Yeah.
like that smell of like cinnamon and the warmth and like cooking. I just wanted it to feel like a big hug.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it really does. It has that sort of, like the Gilmore Girls quality
Yeah.
where it's
Yeah.
like you're in this fictional world that you want to be a part of.
Yeah.
That's how it felt with this, I wanted to go to is it Gloria's Cafe
Yeah,
and have a hazelnut latte there and some banana bread. I wanted to join them for that. I've only read one of Laurie Gilmore's books, but it had that same sort of vibe of the place there, and
yeah,
you
yeah.
really want to like immerse yourself in it and be there, and it just seems like such a nice break from the horrific world we actually live in.
Literally, that's what I wanted. That is what I wanted. I wanted it to feel like Gilmore Girls, Practical Magic, like all those lovely kind of vibes that, very different to her life in London.
Yeah.
A few people have described it in their reviews as like Gossip Girl at London.
Gossip Girl,
And I'm
I
like,
love that.
Gossip Girl!
Yeah.
Like, sort of like, the rich and elite
Yeah.
there. And then you've got the very different vibe over
Yeah,
in.
it's a real contrast.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. Can we talk a little bit about Granny and is it Aradia? Aradia?
I called right. So I've had this conversation with a few people. I call it Aradia, but some people
Aradia,
say
sorry.
Aradia. So, and I'm
Okay.
cool. It's whatever you want it to be. Like, this is the thing about writing a book. It's not mine anymore.
You're
It's
giving it
the
out to the
reader's. So
readers.
you call it what you want, babe.
But yeah, tell us about those characters. I don't want to give any spoilers, so I'm trying to be careful about like
Yeah.
how I talk about them. So I don't know how much you can tell us, but yeah, what can you tell us about Harriet sort of escaping this Gossip Girl city life and
Yeah.
going to stay with them?
Well, I think again, it's Granny and Aradia are girls, like they're supportive women, and that is again something I'm trying to like push within the book that, we should be supporting each other.
Yeah,
We should, accept people for who they are. And I feel like Granny and Aradia just accept Harriet as she comes. They
yeah,
don't ask her to change, they don't ask her to be anything she's not. And they try and kind of encourage her to find herself and find like what her magic is, find out kind of her place in Brindlewood. I think that it was just important to have, again, those characters that feel like home. I just
yeah.
wanted people to feel loved when they're reading the book and imagine themselves as Harry. And going home to Granny and Aradia must be an absolute delight because who doesn't want to drink red wine and listen to Fleetwood Mac and dance around a fire? Like, I feel like that's everyone's dream.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And have all these potions bubbling away and
Honestly, amazing.
potions bubbling away and then a chicken pie. Just
Just the best.
gorgeous.
Day.
The vibes are immaculate. I'm
Good
never
Friday
returning to
night.
London if I'm Harriet.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be staying there. Honestly, it's so,
Living
yeah,
your
I just
best
love it.
life.
I love
I
it.
mean, Brindlewood is this place that is, as you've said, it's like built on community.
Yeah.
And I really felt through this book that you were highlighting the importance of community.
Mhm.
I wondered if that's something you've always felt is important, or if it's something that you've sort of gradually learned over time.
I think it's gradually over time.
Yeah,
I have always been quite independent, and it's always been sort of me and Kieran. So, building that sort of family unit yourselves and building that community around you is so important. I have wonderful friends, I have wonderful people that I work with. I've got like people from uni, like yourself, that are still like just wonderful people. I like to surround myself with lots of good because there's a lot of bad in the world, and a lot of bad happens to you, things that can really sort of like rock your world. I mean, it's a personal, but January I lost my dad to cancer.
I'm so sorry.
And I struggled with that because my dad was my everything. And I then realized that life doesn't stop and bad happens, but you
Yeah,
can be the good. And
yeah,
that's so important for me because I think if you do good and you're positive about things, I'm not saying, you have to be positive all the time because life doesn't work that way, but the more you do it, the more it resonates with you
mhm.
and you start to see the better side of life. So, yeah, I find that, yeah, that's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really sorry that you lost your dad. I know, like I've seen you speaking about it and
Yeah.
how close you kind of were, and that must have been really hard, especially with you doing something as amazing as writing a book and like launching that out into the
Yeah.
world. I'm sure if he was like one of your biggest supporters, I bet he'd be so proud of the fact that you've achieved this. So,
No, he would.
do you think, did you already sort of understand the importance of community prior to that, or do you think his death sort of made you realize that more?
I think I've always been that way. I do think
Yeah.
I've always been quite community led. It's something that, yeah, carry
I
on. Sorry,
mean,
I interrupted you.
no, no, not at all. I mean, I definitely feel like you are that. Like, I mean, I was with my partner at the time,
I know
and
exactly what you're going to say. Turn him into a
with my
frog.
partner at the time, and we would come to yours and Kieran's,
You did.
and it was like one of my favorite things to do at the time because the
Oh,
vibes in your house were just so nice and cozy. You'd
I
have the
mean,
candles going, we'd be having a glass
that
of
counts.
wine. Like it was just like so nice.
Oh, that means a
Um,
lot.
and I feel like your vibes are just like, I don't know, it really draws people in. It's so
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, that's good. And I love
Yeah.
that. And I hope that I do that for people because
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that people do feel loved. So, yeah, and I'm glad that you like that house because honestly, that was a student house that was full of mold and had burn marks in the carpet
I
and all
mean,
sorts.
weren't they all
But
like,
we loved
we
it.
didn't live in the
Loved it.
nicest area, but
I mean,
we thrived where we
we
could.
thrived, didn't we, there? Yeah. It was an adventure. It
It was an
was.
adventure.
And I genuinely miss karaoke nights.
Oh,
And if anyone is at university right now, please go to karaoke nights and just relish in it because it was just the best
do it
time.
for us.
Honestly,
So,
the
I
amount of
miss it so
time
much
I sang
sometimes.
Beyonce, Drunken Love, was just probably not okay.
As
Like
you
I
should.
had an addiction,
You were so good at performing that.
honestly.
It was iconic. It was iconic.
Thank you, Queen.
But let's get back to your book.
Yeah, please.
Because we also have Sam.
hmm
How do you dream up a man like Sam?
So I'm going to call him out here, but I'm very lucky that I have a green flag boyfriend myself.
We love to see it.
We love it. We love those green flag boys. We do. I mean, don't get me
More of them,
wrong. I love
please.
a dark romance, but it's the green flags we want. It's that
Yeah.
golden retriever energy. And I think, like most men in books, men that are written by women are just wonderful. They're just fantastic. They really are. Yeah, I mean, I love Sam, and if I could just jump into Brindlewood and marry Sam, I probably would. Like, sorry, Kieran, that's it. You're gone. But
So fair.
it's
So
fair.
fair.
It's
I think you're
allowed.
so right, though, about women writing male characters.
Ah.
I don't know if you've watched Off Campus.
Oh my God. So I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. A man that like gives you a can because it's safer, because he knows how you feel. Oh, yes, Garrett. Yes.
He's so beautiful.
Isn't he? So me and my friend Emmy are obsessed and we keep rewatching. Have you seen that video where he's with I can't remember the rapper's name and he's like dancing?
Kid Leroy.
Oh my God. I am watching that like unhealthy, like eating like Doritos and like sat there like just
Watching it on repeat.
replaying it.
I feel you. He is so beautiful.
He
I
really
am
is.
looking to get into reading that series because I'm intrigued. But the TV series was so good, and I am just obsessed with him.
Yeah.
And just the whole him sort of seeing her trauma and respecting it, and there's so many green flag men in that.
Uh-huh.
Even Dean, who you think is a bit of a
Oh,
playboy, and then the
I'm so
conversation they have
excited.
in the gym where he's like, "I want to like, oh, I can't remember." They're talking about like
Yeah,
what
yeah,
he's gonna
yeah.
do, what he needs to do in order to pleasure Hannah, and
Oh,
he's like, some girls don't orgasm and that's okay, and he's like, that's not an option.
I just love them. I love them. They're just, I'm so
That's
excited
not an
for the
option.
second
Respect.
series. Honestly, we respect that
We
because
respect that.
we love a tryout.
Oh my God, honestly, yeah. So I could honestly do a whole episode on Off Campus. That's
Yeah. Same. If you ever do that, just hook me up and we could do a panel of like all of us
oh my
discussing
God,
off campus.
obsessed. That would be amazing. Now it does get quite spicy with Sam.
Yes, it does get quite spicy with Sam.
How do you find writing those scenes?
I'm like kicking my legs and screaming, like probably people like who are
I
reading it. I'm like,
love
"Ah, so good.
Some people are like really cringe out by it. So I
Yeah,
love that you're.
no. Yeah, I mean, I at first I was like, oh my God, people are going to read this. Like, people are actually going to read this. And then I had a talk with myself and was like, look, we're adults.
Yeah.
Adults are going to read this. Adults can have sex. They know what sex is. Like, let's just behave ourselves right now
Hmm.
because it's okay. Like, and I think maybe we should be talking about sex more and not just sex, but good sex and
Yeah.
sex that's actually, pleasurable for women. I think that's important. So yeah, that's my whole thing is I'm like squealing the same as everyone else is probably reading it. Like, oh my God, so exciting.
Some very hot pages in this book, Jess.
It is. Yeah, chapter 18 is probably my favorite. The chocolate cake, just, yeah,
And
can
that's
feel
fair.
that.
That's
Hmm.
fair.
Hmm.
I want to talk about the magic, and I'm not going to say why us talking about spicy scenes has just made me think of magic.
Uh,
Not gonna say that, but just know that there is a connection there, everyone.
okay.
I wondered, have you ever considered the magic that you would possess?
Oh my God. Oh, oh, I want all of it. Like, can I have all of it?
Yeah, you
Can
can.
I like have the dreams? Can I know what people are feeling? I want like a magic wand. I want to make granny's potions. I want all the magic. Like I want to be like a full-on head witch of the coven. Like that's what I want, please.
You would be such a great head witch of the
Thank
coven.
you. I
You
feel like I
really
would.
would.
Yeah.
I think so.
Raise an army of girls.
So good. Now I'm not like a massive romance reader,
Mhm.
so I wondered for the big romance readers out there. Obviously, I've dabbled in it, definitely, but I wouldn't say that like, there's gals out there that's all they read and they know that genre very well. So in order to respect those listeners, what can you kind of tell us about the tropes that they might find in this book?
Yeah, so you've got Fated Mates, which is like one of my favorites. I love a fated mate. I just think it's really magical and lovely. There's Found Family. It's a bit of a slow burn as well, I'd say, because there's very much like will they, won't they at the
Hmm.
start. Lots of interruptions, which is also very frustrating. Yeah, there's like the cozy vibes. I don't really know where else we can go. You know, when you like go off and you can't think of like what tropes are anymore. But yeah, definitely Fated Mates is the biggest one within that, and Found Family, and it's kind of that small town vibe as well,
Yeah,
I would say.
do the small town very well.
Small town.
We love it.
I love it.
What can we expect in the next book?
Oh my God. So I am in the first draft era. I've not even finished it. I want to explore different things that were in the first book. So witch hunters is a big thing for me. We kind of need to know what's going on there.
Yeah.
The Magic Society, kind of how that runs. It's more to do with like the magic. And I think we will see more of Sam and Harry. Will we see Greg? I don't know. Maybe. Who
Oh,
knows? Who
I
knows?
hope not, because I
Yeah.
will fight him.
You'll be fighting them. And I don't think there's any redemption for that man. So,
There's not.
no.
Well, that's really, really exciting.
Okay.
Before I let you go, Jess, I do like to
Yeah.
finish by asking for a recommendation. So, what would you like to recommend to the listeners?
Oh, so I was going to recommend Off Campus, and we've already spoken about that. Well,
So
I'm still recommend
sorry.
it. Please don't say sorry because I'm glad that everyone's already watching it because it's amazing. But I also wanted to recommend Let Them by Mel Robbins.
Oh, yeah.
Who, oh my God, it's such a good book for kind of letting go of what people think of you, what people perceive, because no matter what you do, people will always have an opinion of you that you can't change. It doesn't matter if you're a saint, it doesn't matter if like you're the devil, they're gonna have that like image of you no matter what you
Hmm.
do. And I think sometimes we hold ourselves back too
Yeah.
much by worrying about what other people think. Like when I started Instagram for this book, I felt so like silly because I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I starting an Instagram? Who cares? Like, who
Yeah.
cares? It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, and people are going to have like negative perceptions of me. People aren't going to enjoy my book as well, which is fine because for some people, I'm just not their cup of tea, and a lot of people, I'm champagne. So that's what we're going to go with.
I love that as a phrase. Like, for
Yeah,
some people, I'm not the cup of tea, for others, I'm their champagne.
honestly, that's what we're going to live
Beautiful. That's poetry.
with, isn't it?
Well, Jess, thank you so much
Oh, thank
for trusting
you.
me to be your first
I
podcast
know.
and coming on a pair of bookends.
Oh,
I've
it's been
absolutely loved
so
chatting to
good.
you.
Me too. It's been so much fun. I've absolutely loved it.
I'm so glad. And for the listeners, as I said before, I will be popping a link in the show notes to buy yourselves a copy of Bloodline of the Coven. And I will also pop a link in the show notes to give Jess a follow over on Instagram. Come
And
say
please
hello
message
to her.
me. Yeah, message me. I like my followers will agree that I always get back to people. I love commenting on posts that I'm tagged in. I love it. I love reading your reviews. Like, oh, some of them are just delicious. Like someone said that Sam and Harry's love is one for the ages, and I was like, oh my God, stop. I love it. I love it. So yeah, please do talk to me because it's about building community, the book
Absolutely.
community. And I'm going to be at a few events as well. So if you get tickets, they're all on my Instagram and just come and like sit and talk to me. We can have tea and we can just like discuss the world and I'll hype you up.
I
always.
love that so much. Jess really will hype you up.
I
She is
will.
the queen of, she's the hype
Cheerleader.
queen. Yeah,
Hyping.
absolutely. So do go check out the events that Jess is doing. Do go give her a follow and go and tell her what you think of her book. I'm sure she would love to hear that. But Jess, congratulations on your debut novel.
Thanks, Queen.
And thank you so much for coming on. And listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And if you want to give us a follow, you can do so at A Pair of Bookends Pod on Instagram and at A Pair of Bookends on TikTok. And for more content, you can find us over on Patreon. That is all we've got time for. Thank you so much again, Jess.
No, thank you so much. And everyone follow. Everyone follow Pair of Bookends. Honestly, do it.
And thank you, listeners, for listening. Goodbye.